My name is James E. Stanislauer, and I am 59 years old. Hi. Did you get your breakfast already?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Oh, no, I did. Yeah, but the medicine I didn't.
Okay. I was an only child, and I grew up in a town outside of Philadelphia called Lansdale, Pennsylvania. My mom came from the Philippines in the 1950s as a nurse on a visitor exchange program. So at that time, by and large, people from Asia were not allowed to immigrate to the U.S. So she came as a guest worker.
I was an assistant head nurse in one of the surgical medical floor.
People talk about me being a caregiver. It's more like guardrails for me. We're at the point where she can take care of herself, like the hygiene and the daily routine, but I have to be there for the medication because sometimes pills are still there after I think they've been taken, or they're not, or other pills are missing. And it's a constant, that's sort of our biggest point of friction between us, but it's also like, there's just times we just start laughing because it's just, it is what it is.
It will be, it won't be too cold.
I made the shrimp. I made the shrimp. You did your blood pressure.
Huh?
You did your blood pressure.
I did?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
See?
Oh, 128, that's right.
Okay. And you took your medicine, so don't take more. Yes? Yes?
Huh?
You took your medicine already.
Yeah.
She's always so positive and upbeat and a generally happy person, which is nice. All right, I'm gonna get going.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I have olives.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right.
Look
I'll
at
be
it.
back.
Ooh.
Bye-bye. I'll be back after lunch.
Huh?
I'll be back right after lunch.
Oh, okay.
Okay. She's also sort of the ultimate caregiver. I think that just comes from her being a nurse, following it through, taking care of my grandmother, taking care of my father, taking care of anybody that ever needed taken care of.
I met my husband through a Filipino friend.
And had a whirlwind romance.
People thought, from the Philippines, they think that married to an American, a lot of there were divorces. But I guess I was the one fortunate. I made a family who welcomed me regardless of what race I was.
My parents moved to Florida in the end of 1986. And then about around 2010, that's when I started to notice the sort of the health concerns. I was going back and forth from California to Florida, probably every other month at one point. I started feeling like I really need to kind of figure out how to do this distance thing, or maybe not do the distance thing. And at that point, there started to be problems. The emergency room visits became more frequent. The hospital stays became more frequent. But the thing was, she was left alone to take care of him. And so it was all the stuff that you would normally do for somebody who's not sick, but then also all the stuff that he needed, so the medications. And between the Parkinson's and all the other things that he had wrong with him, was just like this layer upon layer upon layer of things that just made everything so difficult. So if he had to go to the bathroom, she'd have to get him out of bed. And then he had what's called a drop foot. So he had a foot that kind of curved in. And so for him to stand, he needed to put a leg brace on. So the leg brace would have to go on, and he hated the leg brace. And then he'd have to get up And we had the commode right by the bed, so at least, she could get in there.
It's so hard for me because he was big. I mean, he lost weight eventually, but it was really hard. And but then I finally got a help. And once the helper leaves, I'm on my own with him.
Could see the toll that it was taking on my mom. I don't know how she did it, like the physical toll on her. But I think being a nurse, being this is the man she loved. It was, I think in some ways it kept her going. Like it gave her a reason to do stuff and to be there for him. Then there came that night, and I always say, like, there's these days in your life that start out like any other day, and they end up not being like any other day. And I got a call on a Sunday that my cousin was like, your father, we had to take him to the hospital, but I think you need to come, but you need to talk to the doctor. And I knew what he wanted. And so it was really hard. It was hard to be so far away and to make that decision. But I knew it's what he wanted. My mom is really easy to get along with. She's very pleasant. The other side of that coin, I think, is that she won't tell me if there's something wrong or if there's something bothering her, although sometimes I can tell. You still miss Dad, don't you?
Of course, I mean, even if it was sometimes a pain in the neck.
You know what Sunday is?
Huh?
You know what Sunday is?
His birthday.
Do you know which one?
27?
No, but which birthday?
95? What?
It would have been his 100th birthday this year.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
1923. So if there's something happened, Mom, and I needed help to bring somebody in, who would you want it to be, or does it matter?
No, as long as they'll take care of me.
But remember how it was with Dad trying to find somebody? But he was harder.
But I hope it doesn't have to be.
Well, I hope not, but, it's good to plan. Do you hope to live to 100?
No,
No,
I almost there.
you're almost there.
No, I don't think if I'm not able to do anything, well,
It's God's will, like you always
yeah,
say.
God knows when.
I haven't had too many major scares. I think it's all in my head. And, the one time when she did have the stroke, I think that just reinforces my fears of not being close or not being home, because if my cousin hadn't been with her, I wonder, what would have happened, how long she would have had to sit there waiting for help, or if I don't even like to think about it, but I think about it all the time. I don't think, unless you go through this, that people understand what it means to try and have to take care of someone and also work at the same time, and how you can you can do things to make your employees' lives easier and makes me much more productive, I think, when I'm not constantly worried about can I get home to her in time, or is it going to take me an hour to get home in traffic tonight? Hey, Lynn. Good. The school group here?
They are. They'll be over here in about 10 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, yay.
How's your mom doing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about your mom?
Same. No changes, which I guess is good. Just trying to keep her active and making sure that she doesn't sit all day, which is easily happens.
Where's she today?
She's at home. I just checked her on the camera and she's sleeping and,
I still haven't set my cameras up.
They're so helpful.
I know.
You should do it. It's
I know.
great.
It was just, any luck getting your mom to do any exercises or?
What's been really helpful is YouTube.
I know, my aunt does that.
She exercises. It's this mother-daughter duo, and she's the same age as the mother, and so she like gets up and she kind of talks to the TV, like, they'll say hi there, and she says hello back, and I think she realizes it's TV, but whatever works, and
Maybe
so she'll
she
do
thinks
it.
it's Zoom.
She might, yeah. Anyway.
All right,
Well,
well, the
good
kids
luck.
must be
Yeah,
here.
See you Monday at the meeting.
Okay. My biggest fear is if something were to happen that she not be alone. But even like when my dogs passed away, I would never dream of just leaving them somewhere. I had to be with them. And I feel like sometimes it's me projecting my own understanding that I probably won't have that. There's nobody to take care of me. I don't know who's going to take care of me. So I'm trying to take care of the world so that maybe some karma comes back to me. It's a hard thing to think about. It's easy, I'll think about it later. And then also, I don't feel like I'm that old, but, here I am. Living in a 55 and older community. So knowing that my mom spent her entire life caring for other people, both in her professional life and then with my grandmother and my dad, up until she was 88, I think that was who she was. I think that gave her a reason. I think when she was taking care of Dad, that was an important role for her to play for him. The caregiving, I think, is just so, I think it's so encoded in her. I don't think I expected to be a caregiver, at least not so soon. And I had no clue what it really meant. My only frame of reference was seeing what she had done for our relatives. Let's go take a walk down, throw the trash out.
Okay.
And how she cared for people. And I think for me, it's not this is what you do and this is what you act and this is the things that you have to provide. It is in some ways, living up to just the idea of taking care of someone else, like being there for someone, that drives a lot of this for me. Remember Dad and Oma going with us?
Yeah.
And that was his first trip, right? And then
This is the family.
I do worry what it's like when it comes to a time where she does need care around the clock and I still have to work, how that's gonna play out. How do I find somebody that she's comfortable with, that can take care of her, and also how to afford it all. It's, and I know a lot of us are facing so many of the same issues. I think it's part of who we are, of our culture as well. I think there is this sense of we take care of one another, that you don't see a lot in American culture or in Western culture. But certainly in the Philippines, everybody surrounds people. And part of it is, there is no safety net. There is no, I think there's some sort of form of social security now, but there's real no help for older people. And so they rely on the family, and the family is always there for them. And so it is just part of this stage in my life, I think, and I accept that, and I'm fine with it. Happy
Birthday
birthday
to
to me. Thank you. Give me a kiss. Just like Olive, and then you get cake.
I give it.
Let me get a knife. I don't know if I would want it any differently.